Hi, my name is Tanya Carter. Question: have you ever been in a car and you've seen a deer on the side of the road? That's something that's pretty common. The purpose of this speech is to inform you of 3 methods used to control urban deer populations. Research has been conducted to develop an innovative solution that will address the growing reproduction rate of urban deer and the increasing deer and human interactions that have come from these reproduction rates. The main points that we'll be addressing in this speech include secondary research, primary research, concepts, prototypes, and a launch plan. The secondary research conducted by T5-Consulting was considered based on accuracy, recency, and relevancy. These sources all come from either an academic journal, a scholarly article, or a report published by a federal or state agency. And the 3 methods that were researched for key findings include herding, tagging, and injecting. Herding was found to be a technique used to gather multiple deer at once, while tagging is a technique used to track and identify deer once they've been gathered. And once deer have been successfully herded and tagged, they can then be injected with a vaccine that will be used to slow down reproduction rates without causing any harm to existing deer. The implication of these key findings was that T5 projects increasing reproduction rates to be managed through an innovation that allows herding to be easier but also successful. Drones and ATVs are top options to allow successful herding while also making the task easier. Our primary research will be discussed by Rob Matson.
Hi, my name is Rob Matson, and along with having secondary research, we felt it was very important to have interviews, surveys, and observations done in order to gather real information that we got from people in our own communities here in North Carolina. We went to a farmer's market and conducted 2 surveys. The first survey that we conducted was asking people how many of them experienced some form of significant crop loss as a result of deer in the past 2 years. 10 out of the 26 vendors said that they had experienced some sort of crop loss that contributed to financial decline. That is almost 40% of the vendors. That is very significant and enough that I think it needed to be addressed. So I followed up by asking how many of them were directly affected by white-tailed deer with the products that they grew. And 25 of them said that they were. The other person grew honey, and so deer for them weren't nearly as problematic as the vendors who grew fruits and vegetables. I then went to 4 different sites in order to see how people were trying to prevent and repel deer from going on and eating their crops. All 4 used scent-based repellents that included mint, soap, garlic, and blood. I thought that was very interesting, and upon doing further research, it also turns out that deer don't like the smell of lavender. We sat down and did 2 interviews. The first one with a Mr. Steve Pearson, who, when asked why he doesn't use physical barriers to keep out deer, he pulled up a video of a Ring doorbell camera of a deer jumping over a 6-foot privacy fence. I then understood why people use scent-based repellents so much, and why physical barriers aren't nearly as common when keeping these fauna out. Then we sat down for an interview with a Mr. Andrew Henderson, who raises cattle, and said that the best and most effective measures for these creatures are using silence and persistence. Deer are a creature of habit, as well as easily startled. So being able to prevent them from entering an area because they think it's a threat or dangerous is usually the most effective way. He suggested using drones or dogs in order to decrease human labor, and the feeding traps are good as well. He also suggested that we could look into the potential of using electric ATVs as they are more quiet, as well as allow humans to have a more direct impact on what happens with the deer. That led us to many prototypes, examples, and concepts.
Urban deer overpopulation, a real issue for our community and our countries overall. Many of us know someone who's been negatively affected by deer damage on either their vehicle or their property at home. Hi, I'm Noah Allison with T5-Consulting, and today I'm going to share with you the concepts we are able to create in finding a more effective vaccine distribution process for the spayvac vaccination. The first concept I would like to share with you is the idea of a spayvac infused deer feed. This nearly eliminates the herding process and really puts a big focus on finding densely populated areas in order to really distribute this vaccine efficiently. The real issue we here at T5 Consulting found with this method is that it would be very expensive and time consuming to alter this vaccine to work through the digestive tract of these animals. For that reason, we decided to move on from this solution. The next concept crafted by T5-Consulting is the idea of spayback infused deer darts. This only requires sharpshooters and tracking technology, again, nearly eliminating the herding aspect of everything, putting another big focus on finding densely populated turds. The main reason we decided to move on from this solution is we would like to avoid traumatizing these animals or causing them any pain, as they are known to startle and be frightened very, very easily, and we would like to avoid doing any damage to these animals. The final solution crafted by T5-Consulting is Cowboys riding electric ATVs equipped with GPS technology. This solution seems like the most realistic and efficient for our team. These ATVs feature GPS tracking, very long range on one charge, and are very quiet when these animals are known to startle easily. That is a huge advantage. Another advantage is these Cowboys are ready and willing to work and more experienced than anybody we could possibly find. Moving on to the prototyping section, I'd really like to go more in depth of the networking done to find these Cowboys and the ATV overall. Thank you. Have a great day. I'm Nolan Allison.
Urban deer populations have had dire consequences while coexisting with the growing human populations in many cities and suburbs in the United States. My name is David Dooley with T5-Consulting. I will be sharing the prototype process for an essential and efficient way to allow the administration of the spayback vaccine to initiate a reduction in the growing deer population. By using rapid prototyping methods along with feedback from local farmers, my team has prototyped and tested a new process to fulfill the task of gathering does, administering the spayback contraceptive vaccine, and tagging the vaccinated deer. Through design thinking techniques and a learning launch with locally affected farmers, the most efficient process of hiring professional cowboys to herd, inject, and tag the urban deer is using electric four-wheelers. The technique that will allow for the step of herding, injecting, and tagging female deer was by hiring a team of elite cowboys that use electric four-wheelers to provide these steps in one pass per herding. Having a controlled environment with the professional cowboys on electric four-wheelers will allow for more efficiency in the process to herd, inject, and tag the urban does. Through communication with local farmers, it was deemed a great solution to reducing the invasive deer population and providing job opportunities to professionals that specialize in this field. Contact information will be provided to these professionals to interview and achieve the incentives in place to fulfill the objectives that have been set. According to federal, state, and local laws within which the team of elite cowboys will inject, tag, and herd the deer and allow for tracking of the reproduction rates. A brochure has been created through the prototype process to recruit top talented cowboys that can assist in the issue of the overpopulation of the urban deer.
I'm Nick Varga with T5-Consulting, and I'm here to tell you about our launch plan for our new cowboy method that is intended to manage deer overpopulation in heavy populated areas. This method emphasizes 3 objectives that are crucial for proper implementation of this operation. These objectives include the pre-launch, cash flow, and how to measure success. The output of the cowboy method is dependent on the thoroughness of our pre-launch phases. Proper research, training, and resource allocation are paramount when introducing new concepts. This includes proper cowboy training, as well as getting opinions from qualified veterinarians and other game wardens. Our staff spared nothing when it came to providing our primary and secondary research And based on that research, the development team was able to provide strong concepts and prototypes. We believe that putting in the effort in the beginning leads to a strong launch in the end. The Cowboy method will benefit taxpayers by lowering costs needed to fix damages caused by overpopulation of deer. Our plan is to glide into a national deer controlling population company with the intent of having a nation of happy, healthy deer. This plan's success won't be measured not only by the quality of life in the deer, but also by the quality of life in the surrounding areas. With the tags placed on the deer, rangers will be able to monitor other deer that have been vaccinated. This will show key performance indicators such as reduction of growth rate, improvement of overall health, and a positive impact on the ecosystem. 5 years after we start the first implementation, we'll come back and monitor the deer and the growth rate, and it'll show that our methods work. In conclusion, T5-Consulting prides itself on going the extra mile to ensure success. The data collected and development of concepts and prototypes are key success for the Cowboy method. This method includes a new herding technique, PCP vaccines, and special tagging for deer population management. The Cowboy method demonstrates a balanced focus on time, effort, and financial resources, as well as attainment of desired success rate in controlling deer population growth while promoting ecological balance and preserving natural habitats.